Hello world, Liu here, and today we'll be talking about 7 things I never knew about color printing in Python until recently. First on this list is the back object from Colorama. So first things first, if you haven't already, you need to install Colorama in your terminal using pip. So pip install Colorama. So Colorama is an external Python library that allows you to add color to your text. And once you have installed it, it should look something like this. And here I'm going to import this. So from Colorama, import back. And we can use this back object to highlight our text. So let's do this, print, and let's say back.red plus apple. And if we run this, we'll get apple highlighted in red. And we can do this with a few other colors too. So let's say blue and green. And let's run this. And here we have apple highlighted in red, blue, and green. So another thing to note is that you can have multiple highlights in one line. So let's say f-string back.red apple, and next we have back.yellow orange and back.green pear. And so if we run this once again, notice that in this line we have different highlights in one line. So apple is red, orange is yellow, and pear is green. So to do this, we simply need to use one color to override another. And second on this list, we have the reset variable for both fore and back inside the Colorama library. So firstly, I'm going to import this Colorama, import fore and back. So just some background. Let's do this fore.red plus apple. And next, let's do back.green plus apple. And if we run this, we'll get apple in red and apple in green. But notice that the apple in green is highlighted, while the apple in red is the color of the letters. So here, back means highlight, while fore means we color the letters itself. So similarly, we can do this fore.blue plus orange, back.blue plus orange. And if we run this once again, we have the orange text and the orange highlight over here. However, what if we wish to reset this back to normal? So in this case, we can use fore.reset and back.reset respectively. So let's just add a pineapple here, and plus back.reset plus pineapple. And if we run this, we will get this. So notice that pineapple is back to normal, which is simply using white text and no background. And number 3, we have printing and highlighting in color without using any libraries. So for this, we do not need to use the Colorama library. So I'm going to paste a bunch of stuff here, and let's print this. And here we have apple of many different colors. So notice that I add this thing here, and this thing is actually the ANSI escape character for red color. And similarly, this is the ANSI escape character for green color. This is the ANSI escape character for yellow color, and so on. So we can actually find this stuff online on Wikipedia. So let's go to this site, which I will link in the description down below. So here we search for colors, and here we have it. So here we have FG, which is foreground, and BG, which is background. Foreground means that we color the text itself. So background means that we highlight our text. So with this in mind, let's change all the foreground to background. And as we can see from the pattern here, we simply need to add 10 to every single number here. And if we run this, we'll get our highlighted apples. So once again, every single color is kind of here, and you can go to this Wikipedia page to check it out. Number 4, Reach. So Reach is another external library that allows us to print in color and in style. So before we do anything, we need to first install it. So pip install Reach, and we do this in terminal. So if we run this, Reach will install itself. And let's import Reach in order to test if it has been installed. So let's run this, and no problems, meaning that it has been installed. Okay, so let's remove this, and from Reach import print. And next I'm going to print this thing. And here I have apple. And in my text, I'm going to have italic red. And here, I'm also going to have italic red. And if I run this, I'm going to get a red apple. But also notice that it is in italic. So let's try this with another line. So I'm going to change this to underline, and this to underline, and this to blue, and this to blue. And if I run this again, we'll have a italic red apple and an underlined blue apple. So one weirder thing about this is that it uses the print function, which will override our current print. So you might want to do this from reg import print as rprint so that it doesn't override our normal print function. So let's run this again, and we'll have the same result. Number 5, we have the regex highlighter from the reg library. So here I'm going to copy paste this stuff, and what's happening is that we have a bunch of stuff here, and we want to highlight every word that contains apple. And let's say we run this, and we'll get apple and pineapple. And this is correct because both of these words contain apple. So what's happening here is that we are using regex to highlight our words. So this is the regex that will match any word that contains apple. And this regex highlighter, which is imported from here, is used to actually highlight our text. And so if I choose to do this, underline blue bold, it will be highlighted in blue instead. So let's add more stuff here. And once again, let's run this, and we will get the same result. So anything that contains apple will be highlighted in blue. So number 6, we can create our own regex highlighter if we do not wish to use the one in the previous example. So here, let's just use the Colorama back, import regex from Colorama, import back. So let's say text is equals to apple, orange, pear, pineapple, durian, snapple, apple pie, and banana. So once again, we want to highlight every single word that contains apple. So let's define a highlight function, and here we have text. And next, let's write a regex to match every word that contains apple. So here, let's add a string, and we want it to be formatted and raw. So here we have a boundary and another boundary, and here a word character, any number of word characters, and the lazy operator. And let's add this on both sides of apple. So \w and star and question mark. And in the middle of this, we put apple. And next, we write our replacement equals to fr. And here we have our back.read. And we have whatever we match here, which we will represent using \1. And here we have back.reset. So this back.reset is such that whatever happens afterwards is no longer highlighted. And next we return re.sub regex replacement and text. And once again, if we print this, highlight and text. And if we run this, we should have it nicely highlighted. And here we have it. Apple is highlighted, pineapple is highlighted, snapple is highlighted, and apple pie __ is also highlighted. And let's say if I try to do something like this, add apple into banana, and if we run this again, this will be highlighted. Number 7, highlights will generally override text color. So let's illustrate this first using Colorama. Colorama, import for and back. So let's print for.read plus back.blue plus apple. And if we run this, we will get a blue highlighted apple. And notice that there's no red around here. However, if we flip this around, and if we run this again, we will still get a blue highlighted apple. And notice that the for.read is nowhere to be found. So this works the same way for our ANSI characters. So here we have a red apple. But if we add a highlight character somewhere here, let's change this to 41. This will be overridden with the highlighted red apple. And here I'm going to paste 2 other colors, and let's see what happens. Here, notice that my red highlight will override everything else. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you have learned at least one new thing about color printing in Python today. See you in the next one.